Less than 50% of the local schools here in central Pennsylvania incorporate authentic writing in the classroom. As we all know, helping students express themselves through the medium allows for their growth and future success. Today we have with us two of Hollidaysburg's finest, who are acclaimed authentic writers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big hand for the future New York Times best-selling authors, Creed and Cage Norris! Thank you guys for coming today. So tell me, how did you come up with the name of your story?
Well, I came up by my imagination.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, I saw a dog on the side of the road. It didn't have color.
Okay, so would you say yours is based off of a true story?
Kind of.
Kind of, okay, all right. So, what inspires you guys to write?
My imagination. I just have dreams and I have to write them down.
Okay, have you guys been writing for a long time?
Yes.
Yes?
A little bit.
A little bit? Do you like to write in your free time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you just start writing, or do you put thought into it beforehand?
I put thought in it beforehand.
Both of you do? You both put, what kind of thought do you put into it?
Well, I put in thought of words, like what this great wolf would do.
That brings up a great idea. So tell me, when you come to a word that you don't know how to spell, do you use it? Or do you just skip it?
I use it. I try my best to spell it.
Okay, all right. Cage?
Well, I just thought that this will be a good story to write down and kind of read.
Cool. All right. What happens when you come to a word that you don't know how to spell? Do you just skip right over it, or do you just write it down how you think it sounds?
I write it down how I think it sounds.
Okay. Have you ever just skipped a word? Like, I don't know how to spell it, so I'm going to find a new word?
No.
No?
Some I have.
You have?
Very little. Very little.
Very little? Okay. Good thing for the magic of editing here.
Are you going to have them read soon?
Yeah.
They're starting to get restless out there.
So tell me guys, has this been a lifelong passion?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, could you read for our audience you guys' stories?
Yes. The Great Wolf. The Wolf.
Louder.
Once upon a time, there was a legend of a wolf. Those that believe in the wolf are lucky, because the people who don't believe are in danger. Because when they dream, their dreams are real. This fierce wolf lives in Mount Everest. A long time ago, the wolf ate a grizzly. Then the wolf became the king of the wolves. Chapter 2. The Army. Then after the wolf was a king for a month, the wolf commanded to have a war. A million wolves volunteered in the army against the buffaloes. While getting ready, the buffaloes sharpened their horns. The buffaloes weighed 6,000 pounds and then went to war. They lost, but they will be back for more. The end.
Awesome. Let's give them a big hand. Crowd. Woo! That was an amazing story. I can see where you really put some thought into that and some imagination. I can definitely see you on the New York Times best-selling list. Cage, would you like to read for us?
Sure. I saw a stray dog on the side of the road, so I brought it home with me. Then I fed it some kibble. Then I went to the Petco and got it some toys. Then I named it Striker Chapter 2. Then me
We'll be done in 5 minutes.
Good.
and Striker went to find an adventure. Then we found a magic waterfall. So me and Striker went and rushed to get there fast. Then we slid down the waterfall. Chapter 3. Then I realized it was not a waterfall, it was a volcano. While the volcano was erupting, I almost did not know that it was Striker's birthday, so I quickly got his card out. Chapter 4. Then I almost forgot. We only had 100 more days, so I was really excited. Chapter 5, Lost. Then it started to rain. It started to thunder. And lightning. After a while it slowed down, and then we were looking for a spot that was open to build a house. We lived there for the rest of our lives.
That is awesome. Everybody, round of applause for our 2 New York Times best-selling authors, Creed Kitchener! Here with us today we have Miss Lori, a children's literature specialist. Have you had the chance to have any interaction with our young literature writers?
As a matter of fact, I have had the pleasure of many interactions with Creed and Cage Norris. They never cease to amaze me.
Awesome. As a teacher, what is your impression for Creed and Cage as authentic writers?
Well, as you know, authentic writing has to be part of you. It's intrinsically driven, and it's very rare to find at such a young age. I would absolutely say that it needs to be encouraged and supported with these two.
Indeed. What suggestions do you have for these students as possible next steps?
Well, I think we need to be careful in our development, but absolutely we could lead them down the road to possibly developing and focusing more on just one idea instead of putting so many different ideas into one story. But like I said, you want to be careful on how much direction you give them at one time.
Absolutely. I thought that their ideas were very original and creative.
I would agree. Anything that you can have a legend of a wolf going from a wolf eating a grizzly bear and then commanding an army to fight against buffalo, those are some very imaginative, creative ideas. Also, I think there was a waterfall that turned into a volcano. I like that too.
There was. I did notice that some children leave the pages, or they only fill up so much to one page. But I noticed with Creed and Cage that they both they go from page to page fluently.
Absolutely. That is one restriction that these two children do not seem to have, and that's extremely rare. A lot of times kids feel like they have one side of the paper and they have to fit the entire story within that one page. But Creed and Cage feel free to continue their thoughts. They flip the page and keep right on writing, which we absolutely want to encourage.
Indeed. Yes, it really seems as though they are truly inspired writers.
I would have to agree with that.
Cut!